Indoor cycling, Zwift, racing, parenting. We cover those and all of our hopes and dreams in between. Welcome to the Talk Dirty to Me podcast, an entertaining look into the lives of everyday people trying to achieve virtual cycling glory from our basements and garages from around the world. This podcast is rooted in Zwift and has evolved into found friendships, fitness, health, and a little sprinkle of humor. This may be one of the only podcasts where a little heavy breathing shouldn't scare you away, because we're riding our bikes while we're recording it.
Worm, and welcome back. How's everybody doing? We got a good friend, Steve Katuska, who I may or may not have asked how to pronounce his last name, but we'll go with that.
Nailed it. 10 out
welcome.
of 10. Like
10 out of 10.
Throw.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Hear that? Research department for the win. For the win. Steve, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We're good.
Sometimes we refer to him as Good Steve.
Yeah, I'd say often.
Yeah.
Often. So, Steve, you know the routine. You've watched. You've listened, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself.
Okay. So I'm 39, almost 40. I live in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut, just like way out in the woods. Wife, 13 years, 2 kids. Spend all my free time in the basement biking. I got into biking pretty young. I had a paper route growing up. So I was like on the bike at 5 a.m. every day when I was 9, which told the future in a bit. And then got I can do it after college when I was 30, 40 pounds bigger than I wanted to be, and started mountain bike racing, and I did that for a while. Obviously, everything shut down, and I, went into the basement for Zwift, and it's been a good.
It never came out.
Then. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Now, the inevitable question is, how did you find our lovely ragtag group?
Yeah, I was doing ZRL with a different team, but it was at night, and the night was it was impossible. After dinner, while the kids are trying to go to bed, I'm rushing to the basement. And so I was like, well, who does it in the morning? What are the crazies who, train like me in the morning?
Yeah. And then you found us.
Yeah.
Wait,
and I still remember I popped into the Discord, and I'm used to a certain level of offensiveness and just general, and it was the pace
asshattery
and the volume was just overwhelming. And I was like, just leave. I can't. This is just.
That's the best compliment anybody's ever said about our Discord.
It took me about a week.
Better than a frat party that you're trying to find the bathroom?
Yeah, exactly. It took me about a week to get back in and figure it all out. But yeah, so my first TTT was just about a year ago. I pulled up the roster. Let's see. Yeah, Lars.
You came in like Rasta was your man, right? Hard A.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hard A.
Yeah, I sort of came in and he shepherded me through the ranks, which was good. Yeah.
Yeah. The Discord, you either have to completely distance yourself from it or lean into it full tilt.
Yeah.
That's the only way to go.
It's a real hard time if I go on vacation and then come back.
Because you've missed so much.
I'm disconnected. And it's
Yep.
I was notified I was notified a week and a half ago. I'm just scrolling aggressively.
Must find where I was tagged.
Yeah.
So
and it was some here to register or something. I'm I missed that.
Right.
So you trained in the mornings already and then raced at night?
Yeah. So the roads around me are pretty dicey. A lot of trucks and corners and that sort of thing. So I did the trainer road thing for 8 years. And then just got bored of staring at the, the up and down lines. And so I had a coach. I hired a coach in 2020. And he was like, you got to check out this Saturday race. It's the best race there is. And I got the doors blown off me, and it's kind of hooked on it after that.
Can you tell the coach's name? Are they part of Dirt?
No.
They're not. They're unaffiliated and they still like the race, huh?
They loved it, yeah.
Wow.
Smart guy.
If only they knew they could be part of the team.
Yeah. Yeah. They run their own squad. I'll give them a shout. They're good. The CCNS team. So Schwenker is associated with them too, or at least he knows those guys well.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of good guys there.
Nice.
Pro Saturday.
That's the real life racing teams, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the internet friends one. Well, I should also address the elephant in the room for those who are watching. We are recording this in November of 2022. And don't be afraid. That is Greg's actual mustache.
I wasn't here last. No, it wasn't.
No, you weren't. Wait.
Is that how long? Did you start that November 1st?
Oh God, no.
Okay, I was like really worried for every woman in a 100-mile radius to like instantly.
Too much.
I beard already, and I just shaved it down.
Yeah.
I won't go too much detail, but whoever posted the response to "What's the towel for?" I think it was Jose.
It was Jose.
Yeah.
I did.
We'll just leave it at that.
I did show that to the reference party.
Yeah.
Laughed and laughed and laughed.
Yeah. I was gonna get into the mustache, but I can't go back to clean shaven. It just it's not a look for me. It just ends up looking strange. It's all ears and eyebrows and just a big mess.
It's body parts you never knew you had, never really wanted. Yeah. Are anybody else a Balchinian? Anyone? No. Okay, just me.
No.
I don't know the reference.
Balchinian. I think it was a Star Trek movie.
Okay.
Maybe we just made it up. I don't remember. College was a fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Star Trek references. Sounds wild.
Maybe not, because I think the Star Trek reference was he kicked him, so it's like one of the later movies.
Yeah.
Shatner kicked somebody in the junk, and they're like, he's a insert alien name here. His stuff's on his knee, so then he kicks him in the knee, and the guy drops like a ton of bricks. Anyway, that's the extent of my Star Trek knowledge. An alien getting kicked in the junk.
At least you retained the important parts.
Yeah.
Balchinian, I knew it. As soon as you started describing it, I was like, hold on. Balchinian is a Men in Black reference.
Oh, yes. There you go. See? Ooh. Still slaps. Wait for it.
I drove past the World's Fair site just yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Saw the spaceships that the aliens try to escape on.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait, you have a World's Fair that still has Men in Black set up? And so you remember it?
Yeah.
No, the Men in Black, the first one. The final scene.
It's like from Iron Man 1. It's that same scene, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, you can drive by it, Dad, if you come visit up here.
Right by it.
Just swing by.
I could maybe convince the wife to go to like upstate New York.
Yeah.
Here the Finger Lakes are nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She has no intention of going to New York City. Sorry, Drew.
No, trust me.
Mostly because Steve is there.
I was going to say she's on Team Bonica. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never met someone who lives that close to Manhattan and hates it that much. He's a special creature.
She's on Team Bonica, but she doesn't live in New York City. Yeah.
Team Bonica is like, you got to be really careful with what you're including in that category.
Everything.
There are multiple Team Bonicas for different reasons.
Yeah.
Well, back to you, Steve.
Yeah,
Good,
sure.
Steve. So, what do you do for a living? Can you tell us?
Yeah, I work in finance, I guess is the like generic term. I work for a hedge fund in Connecticut.
Says every 6'4", mildly Asian last name person, right?
Basically, I did math and computer science in college. And I was like, where can I go that someone will just pay me to do math and like leave me alone? And so that's basically what I found.
And you didn't want to be a teacher?
No.
Oh,
I said,
sorry,
yeah.
They don't really pay us very well, so it's
My mom is a math teacher, though, so we do have that in the family.
There you go.
But,
so you guys get together over Thanksgiving and solve like quadratic equations?
Yeah, what is the optimal way to cut a pie so everyone's happy? Like all of that stuff.
Yeah. Everybody does that, right?
Yeah. Sure. So I've been doing that for 15 years or so.
Okay.
It keeps me appropriately busy to too busy, but keeps the heat in the house, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
You live that far north, I guess.
I guess that's the kind of job you probably don't take home with you every night.
Well, it's funny. Before the pandemic, we couldn't take anything out of the office. No papers.
Yeah.
Everything was like all locked in. And then, our sort of our hand was forced. And they're like, it looks like everyone's working from home. So
About that company policy.
yeah.
They didn't allow you a bot to like roam around and show you the documents you're not allowed to take home.
That would have been a good one. I get one of those locked briefcases with thumbprints and everything.
Yeah.
The nuclear football. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to carry a nuclear football, right? Maybe a baseball player. I don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about boxing though. I have to tell the story real quick and then we'll get back to it. But Greg, you're familiar with Schnucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having lived in St. Louis. Schnucks is a St. Louis local grocer. Okay.
It's like your Kroger, Meyer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My wife and I were there 3 days ago, maybe, looking for beer in the beer section. I'm standing there perusing the cans, and this bot comes out of nowhere. It's like a Roomba with like a tower and cameras. Okay. Scares the living shit out of me. Just comes up out of nowhere. And I'm like, And my wife's like, oh yeah, that's said the name of the robot, which escapes me now. And I'm just like, what kind of seventh circle of hell are we living in here? I felt like PK, like take your technology, give me my beer. I'm leaving.
If it had bought the beer to your car, that would have been perfect. Like that's what it's there for, right? Like
I'd have taken it home. They could have brought me a beer from the fridge.
Those big robots, they have those in the supermarket up here. That's like the biggest difference between my two kids. My oldest one's the rule follower. She's like, give the robot space. It's working, stay out of its way. And my 8-year-old is like jumping in front of it, like trying to spill stuff so it has to clean up. She's the like, chaos one.
It's like nose to lens on the camera. Like, can't scan the shelves now, can you?
She's like form tackling it. Yeah. It's a good blend.
I would have been the second one there for sure.
Yeah.
In your family.
I'm the second oldest too, so I have that same gene.
Yeah. You know where she gets it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I encourage it. It's just you gotta keep life interesting. Yeah.
Does yours talk to you, Doug? The ones up here talk to us. And like
if it would talk to me, I might you might have seen me with my bug out bag just on the road somewhere.
It likes to introduce itself, tell us what it's doing.
Like, guys, Skynet is live. I'm out.
Yeah.
Tells you that it's there to keep the store clean.
Oh yeah.
If it can't clean it up, then it's gonna report the
said something about keeping the store pure, and I was like, what?
I'm here to clean the store. You must leave.
You are not welcome here.
It's got dark fast.
That's a terrible beer choice.
You're gonna hate the amount of malt in that. Now that kind of robot I could get my head around.
Yeah.
Helpful robot.
Yeah.
IBU 48. Really?
You like your beer a little bitter?
Hint of grapefruit? Why, yes, I'll have that. Thank you. So, aside from cycling, what other things do you like to do?
So lots of outdoor stuff. So I take the kids kayaking, a lot of hiking, a lot of just trying to get them outdoors as much as I can. I basically am like trapped at my desk from 7 to 7 most days. So like any time outside of that, getting sunlight and fresh air is the name of the game. Lots of searching out of donuts, searching high and low for donuts of every shape and size.
For those who have not seen Steve's Chronicles of Donuts, it is pretty epic. I will say this.
It's one of my specialties. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been lacking recently though. I haven't seen any donut pics in a while.
I'll make sure to get those back up there.
Please do. I like to salivate at them.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a period of time where Steve's Donuts and Trent would always post donuts.
Yeah.
It's like a good run of donut.
It was a good donut run.
Pictures.
Yeah.
I feel like it had to be like right after the world reopened or something.
Yeah, that was the first thing. It was like, go find all the donuts. Just bring them to me.
Priorities.
You'll never lock me out again.
Yeah, I mean, so mostly just, work, and the kids keep me pretty busy, and that, I spend probably too much time on the bike, but it's a good balance. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
you used
know.
to be big into like mountain biking, right, Steve?
Yeah, so I used to do that a lot. I started mountain bike racing. Like, that was the big thing for me. And I only got a road bike to train for that. I was like, I can't stand, being on the road, or what's the point of that? Wearing all these tight clothes and, trying to dodge cars. But then those events they're so far, they're, hard to get to. You just end up being on your own the whole time. It's just not as enjoyable.
Yeah.
So it's still something I enjoy, but it's definitely taking a backseat.
I think you just described every high school party I ever went to. Hard to get to. You spend most of your time alone.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I could maybe get into this.
Yeah. And then once everything shut down, it was like hard for them to reopen. A bunch of people put on races, went under. It's just always like small mom and pop kind of crews.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah, so I still try to do it. We get up to Vermont a decent amount, and the biking is fantastic up there. So I still try to do it up there, and then up to Utah a bit.
I'm probably like other Midwesterners thinking the only time I hear Vermont, I think of cheese.
Yeah.
Like
Beer.
you and beer.
Vermont beer is tremendous.
Yeah.
It's like Vermont and Wisconsin are very similar in their fundamentals.
It
You know
seems
what I
like
mean?
good salt of the earth people. Just,
A lot of dairy,
Yeah.
a lot of malt.
dairy.
Yeah.
A lot of dairy. They grow them big up there.
Isn't Ben and Jerry's Vermont?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's actually
see?
in the town we go stay. It's like we pass the Ben and Jerry's every time. They have the flavor graveyard. It's a whole day.
Steve, here's your problem. You're passing it. You
Oh,
can't pass Ben and Jerry's.
That's just on the way into town, Dodd.
Yeah.
I would
There,
stop
they
every
turn
time.
around. Gotta put your backs down first.
You know that I'm lactose intolerant, and I make exceptions for ice cream.
They do
Always.
do it. They do it pretty mean dairy free. It's a decent spot.
Listen,
Yeah.
I understand the dairy-free aspect. I drink almond milk in my coffee, but
Yeah.
I can't not ice cream.
Not an oat milk guy. You got to upgrade to oat
I was
milk.
just gonna ask
That's
about
the
oat
stuff,
milk.
not almonds.
Here's the thing: oat milk tastes delicious.
Yeah.
I do prefer it, but it's the calories.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't try not to drink my calories.
You should just get up early and bike more. I mean, have you tried that?
At 3 a.m., you think I
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
get up?
Yeah.
Just set it
get
on
up.
for 2:45.
Just get up yesterday. That's always the.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Somebody's
That's
got to take the
micronaps.
crown from Bonica of the early riser. That's
Oh,
just
That ain't happening, especially because he wakes up at 3,
yeah.
right? Which
Yep,
is
Eastern time. 3:30 be
2:30.
2 a.m. for me.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
no, thank you.
You can get a time zone allowance if you want to
Oh
challenge.
yeah,
it,
for sure. For sure.
but it's not worth it.
I have gotten up at 3 before. 3:15 for a DBR race that
Yeah, the DVR.
was a
Oh,
horrible
those are-
idea.
Yeah. Yeah, those are.
I had the sense not to do a DVR race, guys.
Me too. So I keep
Greg,
talking
you're the
about it.
sensible one. What are you talking about? He's like, of course I chose not to. Like, yeah, that's expected. Thank you.
But
That is the sane, normal choice. There have definitely been times where, like, I had family over visiting or something, and I'd come upstairs at 7, and they're like, "Oh, did you just do a quick spin?" I was like, "Well, it's 3 hours. Like, it's not, just something light. I just kept the legs moving."
Quick spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I was just on the Peloton. That's all.
Yeah.
A normal Saturday morning session, no big deal.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's awesome.
So, let's see. We talked about your job, which I'm sure you love.
It is the type of job where all of the interesting details are some combination of secure and boring to everybody else.
Right.
And it's like, people are like, "What'd you do today?" I'm like, it's some combination of moving numbers around. And
In a way that pleases me.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I made other people money by moving numbers around. That's my official job title.
That's pretty much my
Number
job
mover.
too. That's exactly what I do. I move numbers around and make other people money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you
Kind of
ever
horrible
get,
except for that.
like, you have those moments where, as you're moving the numbers, something exciting to you occurs?
Yeah.
You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Oh yeah.
My wife is a scientist, and so she will sometimes come back from analyzing data, and she's like, "I just have to tell this to someone. Can you listen and be excited for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I get that." And then she starts describing. I changed some interval, and then it's happened, and I saw this. And I was like, "Okay, great."
Oh, that's awesome.
Alex,
I would be more excited if I understood.
what level
all
of
you're talking
excited
about.
Greg do we get for this? Is it like
You get the
like
confetti
that was a
cannon,
smooth
like,
transition?
Yeah.
It's like a
No,
yes.
No, not like that. That's
You just
that's
gotta
too
twist the end of the mustache.
Yeah.
big. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Trying to drill down on the details that I do understand and ask questions. But, okay, but why was it like this in the first place? Well,
Thank you for asking. It was because of this constant. You like that?
And then you're
Science
down
reference.
in. Yeah.
Constant.
Yeah.
5 milliseconds was too long. 3 milliseconds was too short. Or it turns out,
Perfect.
it's just right.
That's right.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to bring it down.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's really what I'm here for.
we were talking billions, before we got on. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the pre-show banter, but
Oh yeah,
it's funny.
Pre-show banter is
I would watch
full
that,
story.
and like it's sort of based on the place I work, at least parts of it. And so parts of that show were like way too close to home, and I have to like turn it off and get up and walk away. I'm like, I know that. I understand that piece. Yeah.
Do you work with Bobby Axelrod?
A variant. Yeah.
You know, that is the single most annoying thing. Like, people watch like Grey's Anatomy,
Oh yeah.
and they find out like when I was a resident, they're like, "Oh, you're a resident? Is it like Grey's Anatomy?" I'm like, "Are you asking if we all just get naked and do it in closets?" No,
Yeah.
no, it's much worse.
There's a constant soundtrack playing in your heads the whole time, though, right? Yeah.
Well, there's just like some blonde chick walking around thinking she's seeing things. You know, it's like, get
Yeah.
out of here, go home. You got fired.
That's gotta be the worst. You must have people all the time like telling you how to do your job. They're like, "Well, I looked it up. I either have a
I
sprained
Googled that.
ankle
Yeah.
or cancer,"
Google.
and you're like, "This is not."
Steve, that never happens. I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody takes my advice and just goes with it. You know, they're like, "Oh, yeah, he's a professional. He knows what he's talking about."
They're like, "Yeah, you went to medical school. I have an iPhone." It sort of seems.
Somebody at
I
work
do.
has a mug that says, "Do not confuse my medical degree with your Google search."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I too have a white coat, a white lab coat. I could be a doctor.
Yeah.
I
I
bought
tell
it
people
in
all the
Party
time.
City.
They sell them on the internet. You can just buy
I
them.
had the opposite thing happen to me. So last year that I my leg was bothering me, and I was like, "Oh, something's going on." And so I Googled, I'm like, "What could left leg pain?" And it was like all these things. Maybe you sprained your ankle. Maybe you did this. Maybe you did this. Or maybe it's blood clots, which is like a pretty serious thing. And I was like, "Oh, it can't be that. That means I have to stop riding. Like, it's got to be plantar fasciitis." So I like go to this guy. He checks me out. He's like, "Maybe, I don't know. Here's some compression socks and insoles."
Oh.
So the leg's like getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
And I keep Googling, and it's like, "Oh, maybe you have this." I'm like, yeah, it's got to be that thing, not the serious thing.
That's
Yeah.
definitely it. No.
Yeah. So
I'm going to convince myself.
yeah, that was the game. And spoiler alert, it didn't work.
Yeah. It was a clot.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I woke up one day and like I looked down at my legs, and the right leg totally normal. The left leg was like a lobster. It was like twice the size, bright red.
my
And I'm like, I think it's time to go to the emergency room. So yeah, that was not fun.
Time to give Dr. Google
Yeah.
a break.
You didn't post on Discord first asking for advice?
I wasn't in the Discord then. I would have.
So Facebook was your only option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my only problem. It was yeah, right. So I don't know, that was fun. So note to the boys and girls, see your doctor, don't Google things. And if you do Google them, actually take the results seriously. But,
or at least entertain the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe not focus on it, because sometimes,
So that mostly, it's funny, like getting that, diagnosis is both good to get it sort of figured out. And then also, it's like a strangely common thing for cyclists and runners. So there's been a bunch of other people who have had a similar thing and give me a bunch of advice and support.
Why is it common? Go into that.
The thing that they think is it's a combination of super low heart rate will cause your blood to pool if you're not moving.
Wait, can I drop some medical knowledge on you?
Yeah, why am I answering? Why? That was so stupid.
I wanted because
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
I'm going Kanye here.
Yeah.
Yay. Sorry. Not that far yay, though. So clots form when there is stasis or inflammation. Okay? And continue.
Oh, yeah. So there's a couple.
That's all I want to say.
There's a couple things. They think the low heart rate isn't causing the blood to completely clear.
Stasis.
Yeah. There's a position, like when you're on a bike, your hip angle is like, compressed. And it's called the iliac artery, I think.
Correct.
Or something, and that can get pinched.
Mm-hmm.
And if you Google
there's a syndrome there.
Yeah. Like a bunch of pro cyclists have been taken out for a year or maybe more to get it fixed. There's genetic disorders that may be a part of it. And then you can get, check me on this, avulsion, maybe. If you hurt a blood vessel and it doesn't heal fully, it can create a clot there.
Yeah.
So it was one of those.
That's the inflammation part of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It could have been any of those things. I have the genetic disorder. I hurt my foot. I'm on the bike all the time. I don't move much outside of riding.
Yeah.
It was sum
guys,
of 20 things.
You ready for your big word of the day?
Ooh.
It's hypercoagulable state.
Yeah.
That's the
Nice.
group of diseases and or genetic predispositions for clots that we test for.
Yeah. So I did all the tests and every level was exactly borderline. I don't know. Yeah.
They're like, well, you could clot or you couldn't, but you did. So
right. Yeah.
Here you go.
Right. Here's a bunch of medicine.
You take some medicine now to prevent that.
Yeah. So there are these, these class of they call them newer age blood thinners. Yeah. They're supposed to be easier to manage. The thing is though, you bleed a lot, unsurprisingly, if your blood doesn't clot.
Yeah.
I got a little paper cut on my hand, and it was
gushing.
It was like I was in a horror movie. Just that, yeah.
Honey, I think I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Can you go in and just say, I need a little bit, not a lot of this, but a little bit.
Yeah. I told my doctor I was going to be crushing them up on the counter, and he was like, "No, don't do it." that would not go very well.
That's for those hydros.
Yeah. A different school of medicine.
Yeah, that's that's the candy medicine.
Yeah, so luckily I can still ride indoors. It's a little worrying because if my heart rate gets too high, my breathing can get really slowed, which is breathing, pro tip, something that's helpful. So, yeah.
And hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Not even from a doctor, but a panel of one doctor in the room concurs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One out of one doctor's agreeing. It's valuable. Yeah. Yeah. So I thought I had it kicked for a while, and then it came back recently, and it's.
Was that pun intended that it was in your leg and you kicked it?
Oh, I like what you did there. It wasn't, but I'm glad you're there to. I'll set him up and you knock him down. Yeah. So it's for a while they thought it might just be something that I do one good dose of the medication for 6 months or something and then I'm done with. But we're sort of in the figure it out phase, which is always exciting. The unknown state. So luckily I have good. I have good doctors around me and good medical support and stuff like that.
I have to say, blood thinning and that process is one of my favorite topics of medicine to talk about because it's so interesting, the derivatives of how they got to where they are.
Yeah.
So the newer agents, Xarelto, Eliquis, they're derived from leech spit.
Okay.
Yeah, because leeches have a natural anticoagulant.
Oh, yeah.
To keep the blood flowing, to keep their meal going.
Oh.
So those are... And Coumadin, or warfarin is the generic term, used to be put in rat poison with shards of fiberglass so that rats would eat the Coumadin, eat the fiberglass, and then fiberglass would rip their entrails and they'd bleed out.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, cruel, right?
that works for pest control. Yeah,
Yeah.
That works.
yeah, yeah. Well, I luckily missed those like old school style blood thinners. I guess those are a pain. You got to change your diet completely. And
Well, coumadin is like the biggest one because, yeah, I mean, everything affects it. It interacts with meds. If you eat a salad one day out of the blue, you're like, I'm just going to eat a salad. It's going to throw your levels off. You have to test your levels. Everybody's dose is different. Whereas the new stuff is just, you take it, it works.
Yeah. Yeah, which is been good. Well, apparently they're harder to reverse, which is part of the reason I'm staying indoors is like, if I crash somewhere and I'm,
Well, I'd say it's not harder. It's just more expensive.
Oh, okay.
The stuff that they use, because vitamin K reverses coumadin.
Right. Yes.
Whereas you have to have drugs that specifically reverse the newer stuff that
which
are
I guess
expensive.
They aren't always available at different hospitals. And
Yeah, where you're at, it's probably not real common.
Yeah.
We have it, and we're not a huge hospital, but it's called K-Centra.
Oh, I'll put that one down.
You guys didn't know you were coming to a drug lab lecture today, did you?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Really, I'm just trying to prove to people that I do somewhat know.
I do know what I'm saying.
Some of what I talk about, not all of it.
Problem is, you're telling us and the internet all of these secrets. I'm going to go pretend to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Well,
and with that mustache, everyone will believe you.
Everyone will believe
Yeah.
it.
that is true. The authority that a good mustache brings.
Instant credibility. Instant.
Yeah.
Except around the school.
Mustache, respect, and credibility. Inseparable.
Although I think Rasta's mustache is at like an uncanny valley state where it's in that in-between spot where there is no credibility imparted by that mustache.
Because the only option for Ross's mustache is you look at him. He looks so young all the time. So now he either looks like, I don't know, a young 20-something trying to look older, or he'd be old pervert
who could never grow facial hair.
Mustache.
Yeah. Speaking of never growing facial hair, those who are watching, Drew's got a little bit of a chin thing going on.
Mustache is there.
It's just the blonde. That's what it is, right?
I thought it was that basement lighting. I didn't even notice.
The thinking behind the chin is I like my job. And I'd rather not have one of my students go home and be like, my gym teacher's a creepy guy. He's growing his mustache.
You can't get fired for that.
Rather a goatee. Looks a little less suspicious with the amount of hair I can grow.
Yeah.
Like if I were to walk in with Greg's mustache, my kids would be like, that's fire. That's awesome. So cool. I walk in with my mustache, my kids are going to be like, May, did you not watch last night?
Yeah.
They're not like, hey, Mr. Mayor, that is the greatest ironic mustache I've ever seen.
How about fun fact? Steve Bonico confirmed. My students don't call me Mr. Mayor. They just call me Mister. Yo, Mister.
They don't call you coach?
My players do.
Yeah.
That I coach. But no, the students will call me Mister. Or just Mayor.
Well, I would trade some of this facial hair for a bit up top. It was like, I started losing it in high school. I was like, hey, what is going on? This is terrible. Yeah.
You're an early bloomer.
The college comb over, not a good look with the ladies.
And yet you still nabbed your wife. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll play the cards we are dealt.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Works out well there.
But the ironic thing about, doctors, and I guess Greg probably gets it a lot with lawyers too, like legal advice. Yeah. I have a speeding ticket. Let me Google what should I do?
No.
Or whatever random minor legal advice people might think that they need. As a teacher, everybody just assumes they know your job because they were there.
Yeah.
Well, I went to school. I know how to be a teacher. I can do it. How hard can it really be?
Yeah, all I get is people like cornering me and they're like, tell me about my 401k. I'm like, I don't want to be doing this. You don't want my advice. I don't want to be giving it to you. This is bad for both of us. Yeah.
You just painted a picture for me perfectly of exactly how I'm here. You don't want me here. I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear.
Yeah, right.
You're going to do what the hell you want anyway. Let's just skip it.
I'm going to waste each other's time like this.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Have a short conversation. I can satisfy the concerns of your child, significant other, whoever made you come in.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk directly to them, or do you want me to talk to you and then you can filter it?
Right.
Is that
Your cranky father is cranky, but not dying.
dude? That is okay. Side note.
Too real.
That is one of the I wouldn't say favorite because it's not a great conversation to have, but like when somebody comes in and like their parents, because we all take care of our parents when they get old, they're like, they can't really live at home by themselves anymore, but they also don't want to go to a nursing home yet. But I want them to. Can we just say that they're not able to make their own decisions?
Can you just tell them for me?
Yeah.
Your pops just told me he wants eggs.
Yeah.
I think he can make his own decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
a conversation I'd love to
I
have.
hope you have a spare bedroom in your house because Dad's moving in.
How does your dog like your parents?
Yeah.
They get along okay? No allergies? Good. Okay.
Great. Sold. I'll get the van for you.
Oh, we can have them dropped off at your house on the way home. It's fine. We have ambulances for that.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? They can't walk? Oh, do you have a basement?
Yeah, right.
Just leave them down there. Just make sure you feed them.
Just toss
them
them
lotion
down the stairs. Yeah. Oh, man.
For Greg, I mean, the funny thing, like, I don't know, maybe it's just a New York thing. How many people think that you can just sue somebody? I'm going to sue you. What?
I'd say that that's more of a New York thing than an everywhere else thing.
Yeah.
Is it not? They didn't get it from the news? I mean, everybody sues everybody on the news.
Right. I mean, and everybody wins, right? I mean, when you sue somebody, you just automatically get payout. So it just works.
Yeah.
Out, right?
My favorite is always be like, you can't stop me. That's my First Amendment right. You're like, no, that's not. That's actually not how it works. It's
No, I have right. Yes, you do, and that's not one of them.
Yeah.
There's a case that involves a guy who's representing himself as making a claim against my employer, and I depersonalize this as much as possible. There's a claim of personal injury, but this person will not provide their medical records. It's a litigation. Medical records to support said injury.
Right.
We said, okay, well,
HIPAA.
So, yeah, but we say like you have to have this evidence. So sign this form. We'll get your medical records. He's like, oh, you can't have my social security number. That's protected First Amendment information. We're like, no. He's like, it's mine. You have to pay me for it. We're like, that's also not true.
Yeah.
Did you get a phone call recently?
None of this works.
There's a lot of like, yeah, it's an unlawful seizure. It's like, no, none of the Constitution applies to this stuff. You're telling everyone else that we hurt you. You see the evidence of that. It's like, no. Okay.
No.
The Constitution protects it. It's like, no.
You can tell them who it is, Greg. It's me. I'm the one suing.
It's done.
Yeah.
Don, I'll represent you. I'm an excellent lawyer. At least my rates are. Yeah.
How's your bird law? Are you up on bird law?
Birds?
Yeah.
Bird law.
It's always Sunny reference. One of our favorite shows of the podcast. I'll speak for myself.
It's classic. What a classic.
All right. So I got a question for our guests. I asked Drew, or I asked the group beforehand. Drew was like, yes. So I have to ask. Apparently this is already known to be true, but are you related to like who is now, I think, the head scout of the Cincinnati Reds?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's my older brother. So I'm one of 6 kids. Our last name is actually like very uncommon. So if you see the name, it's most likely a relative of mine.
That's my last name is the same. I can trace them all back to the guy who came here from like the mud in Germany.
Yeah. So I'm one of 6. I have a brother in Cincinnati, sister in Alaska, brother in Minnesota, 2 in Massachusetts, and then me. So my brother works for the Reds. He's the head of amateur scouting. So like the guy in the draft who makes all the final picks.
Yeah,
that's his deal. So,
fun fact: he actually has an article in the Athletic from last summer before the draft. They interviewed him.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's
like
wild.
knowing he's told me all of the worst parts of working in sports. It's on the road constantly and like 1,000 people trying for one job, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty cool gig. Yeah, so that's my older brother.
Does he associate with the movie Moneyball at all?
He's the he's the middle guy. But like, I still want to see the guy's pitch, and I would like, go out there and spit some chewing tobacco and check out his arm and his grit. But it gets the numbers too.
That's funny.
So that's fun.
You're in danger of
He's the
becoming
guy that interacts with the customers so that the engineers don't have to.
Exactly. Yeah.
in danger of becoming Jesse Keaton's biggest fan.
Isn't that
Reds fan.
customer service? Is that what you're talking about? Greg deals with the fans so that they don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What don't you understand? Watch the customers so the engineers don't have to.
Oh, I always butcher his last name, but Peter Kanan. Kanan? I don't know.
I think it's Cannonen.
Cannon? Okay. He always bikes by my brother's house. I'm like trying to tag him on my Strava, but I'm like, just stop in, get yourself a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Say hi. Yeah.
Say hi.
Hey, knowing Peter, he is far too just focused to stop and talk.
Yeah.
He is a very focused person.
Yeah.
And we love him for it.
Yeah. I've done a couple of TTs with him recently. Good dude. Just methodical. Yeah.
He was on 2 for a long time with us.
Yep.
And it was every week. It was when he was just starting, and
he was
solid
on the
dude.
He was on the DeWalt plan as well.
Yeah. Well, and Greg and I have ridden with him in real life.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He towed me back in Kentucky for miles. He and Greg. So
Rider. He's a big mountain bike rider.
Yeah. I had a couple of good in life dirt meetups. So we did the Jersey gravel grinder with.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys know David Thompson, DT. He does those like endurance 505 rides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Legend. DT.
Great dude. Fantastic guy. And PK was there too.
For me.
What's that?
Polarizing.
Yeah.
Polarizing.
Greg said he's very polarizing.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Bringing the big guns. And then did
I know,
that.
he really makes my heart flutter. So one up.
Right. And then did that Highlands Grand Fondo with Drew and Rasta, George T. Bonica was there. Dan G. Yeah, that was a good.
Was this more than 10 minutes from Bonica's house?
It was. I was shocked.
Yeah, because
you find yourself special.
It was away from Manhattan. Oh, that's great.
Right. Plus, Brasta was going to be there, and Bonica is never going to miss a chance to see his little man crush,
his lady friend.
Yeah.
I called him a lady. Sorry, Brasta, you're not a lady. Unless you want to be. It's cool.
It's your choice.
2022.
Yeah.
Choice.
Yeah, that was a good day. That's a good time with Drew's folks at the finish line.
Finish line, because
that was the day.
On the course.
That was the day. Yeah.
The day.
So you met Drew's mom?
Yeah, I did.
You want to say hi to Drew's mom? She'll be watching this later.
Mom, good to see you. It was a pleasure. She was just so great. Talked with Pops too about about the career changes and all those things. It was it was like 2 hours of hanging out. It was awesome.
I was going to say, I was literally, if there were 180 riders on the course, I was like 178.
Well, I think, did you get more flats that day than Bonica did the other day? Or was that, no,
I just had the one. But the problem was, it was like my second ride with tubeless.
Oh,
so I was like, why am I flatting?
Yeah. Yeah, were you just spraying sealant, or you're just not even?
No, not even. So the stem actually pushed through the tape. So it was just all of a sudden I came to a stop.
Yeah.
And I was
I had one of those this summer. I was riding with I did a leg of Schwenker's tour across the country.
Yeah.
And we were doing 60 miles or something. And we were a quarter mile from the finish, and I hit a piece of glass and just tubeless exploded everywhere. It was
that's the worst.
Great. Yeah. I was in the middle of a rough part of town, and it was tough. I'm standing there in the dirt kit, getting catcalled by all the passers-by. It was not my finest. I'm covering up.
No, I mean, for me, it was. I think I told you guys where I got to the finish line. I was minutes away from calling him an Uber and just being like, nope, Stag Wagon wasn't coming.
Yeah.
I think so then older gentleman stops. Oh, do you need some help? I was like, I need something. Because I'm not in a good place right now. And no sooner did we get the tube into the tubeless setup, the support wagon drove by. And I was like, thanks, guys.
Great timing.
Timely. very timely. But yeah, I dropped the
was a
chain
good
like
day.
twice. So it was tough.
Yeah.
And I get to the finish line, my daughter goes, "What took you so long?" Well, aside from the fact that they're significantly stronger riders than me, he had some issues.
Yeah. I got one of those
there's
too.
Bluey on.
Yeah. I was at a race up in Vermont and mountain bike race. And there were two then Olympians there. Like this was, I was in a lower category, but there were real pros there. And it was pouring rain and I was dead last. And my kid was like, why did you wait so long to finish? I'm like, it's not how it works. I crashed, I'm muddy, I'm disgusted. Yeah.
We stopped at one point, we had a couple of beers, we were just sitting there talking, don't worry about it.
I was waiting for my opportunity, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm there was a hot tub out there, I was just hanging out.
Right.
I wanted to finish by myself so you guys would all see me. It was that.
Right. You don't want to be lost in the crowd.
That's all
Exactly.
kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
My daughter, I just did a ride, and my daughter, I got done, and she was very excited. Yay! And she was like, "Got a lot of people finished." It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You like how modest Greg is? He's like, I just did a ride. He just did the Belgian waffle. Come on.
Yeah.
That was not a ride.
It's just a quick afternoon spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you just come up from a spin? Were you on the Peloton? Yeah, I was out there for 4 hours.
Diving in.
Now, I don't know about you, though.
Hours,
Those finishers medals, that's huge currency in my house. The kids love the wrist necklaces. That's
I wish they were.
That's gold.
That's excellent.
I finished the triathlon in September. I was like, yeah, this one's kind of cool. Look, there's a guy on a stand-up paddleboard. There's a canoe. My daughter was like, that's nice. I was like, oh, all right, well.
Come on.
This one
Zero
will go into
Fs.
the cabinet as well.
Zero F's given.
No,
exactly.
Okay.
Do you have more tries in your future? Or you was that a one and done, or are you getting back in it?
No, I'll probably get back into it. Right now, I'm trying to find somewhere to swim during the winter. I'm trying to build that into the schedule.
The Hudson.
Also, where to run. I mean,
have you heard of the Hudson?
Yeah. You can go and swim in the Hudson River.
Yeah.
I hear that's clean. They've cleaned it up since was it the GM plant?
You guys know who the worst triathlete is? You ready for this? It's Yoda. It's Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try.
That's bad.
6:30 for you guys. 5:30 for me. Yeah. You're welcome.
Well played. Well played.
Hey, it wouldn't be my 38th birthday today if it wasn't a good dad joke.
Greg just messaged me that he wants to sing. He sent it to me offline just to make sure that he wasn't. Yeah, Greg. I mean, the floor is yours. It's not. It wouldn't be my place as a guest.
Greg, I have a request. You ready? Can the mustache just sing? Oh yeah.
Picking up on that.
Oh jeez. That mustache should have its own OnlyFans. Yeah.
That mustache just whispered sweet nothings into my ear.
Your day is
on the fact that while you were rubbing the mustache, God leaned into his microphone with his ear.
I just wanted to hear things in reverse.
The mustache leaks through the microphones only.
To my communications.
That's strong.
I think that's a perfect segue into Greg's segment for the week.
Gregman.
Can we name your mustache that? Greg's segment?
Sure. Well, all right. So, touched on my segment earlier, but I had to keep my mouth shut. It's perfect interlude. We return once again, as we do every week, to Marvelous Machines? ? Where we sort of categorize and detail machine uprising, the eventual takeover of humanity by artificial intelligence. I don't have the machines in my grocery store yet.
They're coming.
I wanted to talk about this because you all were acting pretty easygoing about their existence and ability to help you.
Yeah,
grocery store.
How deep are we going in the bunker here, Greg?
I mean, when you talked about bug out bag, I'm on your team.
Yeah. You're going full Ron Swanson. I mean, you got the mustache already, so.
You got years, not decades. Things are going to start getting hot.
We went to the Boston Museum of Science a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you've ever seen those Boston Dynamics robots.
Boston Dynamics.
They're those creepy ones that like climb stairs and do everything.
They have one that's a dog.
Yeah. We saw the dog one in person. It's terrifying because you don't realize, like, sure, it's only this big, but it weighs like, I don't know, a couple
300 pounds. Yeah. Full of servos and wires.
It's quick, and you're not getting to it. And, terrifying.
Videos to watch if you don't believe me that this is happening. The one where they've got the Boston Dynamics, I think it's like fuel or something, and guys are standing in a circle kicking it as hard as they can. And it's like, no, I'm not falling over. I can catch my balance. Yeah. I'm like, an actual mule would fall over here. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And then there's the one where they're like, oh, we built one that can run really fast. Upright on two legs, faster than humans can run. Watch. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? You're giving them legs.
You don't have the faith in humanity that we'll only use it for good. Isn't decades of software development showing you that we're merely altruistic beings?
Is this sponsored by Meta?
Yeah.
No. I have a friend who works at Google.
Yeah.
And we have this discussion periodically. He's like, nah, it's going to be fine. I was like, no. And he said, no, humans ruin everything. Machines don't ruin everything. I said, everything ruins everything.
Yeah, it's that moment where machines realize that our only salvation is to eliminate us, right?
I've seen Transformers. I know how this ends. Like, it's not.
The Allspark is coming.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Hoover Dam. And
analyze it from their perspective. I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah. Have you seen, there's a YouTube channel called Corridor Crew. They do like special effects.
Okay.
They took the Boston Dynamic robot and turned it into like a thing of nightmares. So you should look that up. Corridor Crew, Boston Dynamic. Just
do I ever want to sleep again? Is that?
Now, okay, on the flip side.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, our grocery stores are being stocked. Okay.
Yeah.
By robots.
Yeah.
Let me see here. There have to be other things that I could think of at this time of day that are also beneficial to us, but I'm blanking.
I know. If you told me they were going to start delivering my Amazon packages, I'd probably be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
As long as it's that day.
Oh yeah.
Drones are amazing. I'm just saying.
I'm still terrified of them. If I see one flying by, I'm like, duck and cover. Yeah.
They make for great video footage.
Oh, for sure.
As soon as we start abdicating responsibility for the small things, it's going to move in. Like, oh yeah, I'll clean the floors.
Those drones are going to want their First Amendment rights, keep their Social Security numbers private. That's in some.
No. They'll be like, Social Security numbers, you idiots.
Yeah.
Why'd you even do this?
They're like, you guys numbered each other? Great.
Oh, good. You've already done it for us.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Mitchell's in the Machines is a favorite in my house. I've never seen it. It's fantastic. So good.
Never.
It's movie. Yeah, yours might be a little young, but I mean, it's not. It's like 6-7-year-olds, right? You're still
6 to 10 probably.
Yeah.
But it's actually, there's enough good stuff. You can enjoy it. Like my wife and I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was me watching How to Train Your Dragon 2 the other night.
Oh
yeah, hell yeah.
Love those movies.
I watched that first one. I watched that very seriously when I was in. I was a lawyer already. My friend, who was briefly a neat dirt writer, was like, "Oh man, let's watch How to Train Your Dragon." I was like, "That's a kid's movie." He's like, "No man, it's so much more." Like, here's watch How to Train Your Dragon.
Was it more? Should I be looking for deeper meaning?
No, but it's like a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It is a good movie. Yeah.
Did you say he was a neat dirt member? Like he came and saw himself like
it was the Discord, right?
Yeah.
You lean into it or you're out. He was out.
Yeah, there's a guy that we're racing against in ZRL. This is a super strong local guy, and it was the same thing. He came to do a TTT and saw the Discord and was like, "I'm good here. I can't. This is you guys. I like how you race, and I just can't be anywhere near this thing.
This is beyond not safe for work. This is not safe for life."
He's like, I'm married to an elected official. Like, I can't even be associated with this.
You got to give up your legal not your legal career. Sorry, Greg. You have to give up your politic career.
Oh yeah.
Help me.
Yeah. Any political aspirations are
Check them at the door.
Yeah. Mayor Bonica not happy.
Mine,
lots of reasons. Yeah.
My political aspirations died when I was in college and made a small calendar.
Oh.
Chew on that one.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you a mental image. You ready? Me, wait for it, 80 pounds heavier.
Okay.
Zorro costume, except the costume only is the mask, hat, and cape. The bottom half is nothing but
assless chaps.
A selected pair of women's underwear.
Wow.
Selected by my then girlfriend, now wife.
Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah, my political career.
Halloween?
Yeah.
No, this was a summer camping trip.
Oh, okay.
This is outdoors. My friend did it was the height of Justin Timberlake SNL skit, Dick in a Box. Yeah. And so he had a box of Coors conveniently and just strapped it to the front of it.
Why not? What
are the odds that a copy of the calendar exists? / can we raise enough? Can we reroute the Dirt Dad Fund to buying a copy of
it doesn't exist out there. I think it's deep, dark in a hole somewhere.
Are you talking about the calendar or the...
Both? Yes, is the answer.
I still remember my political career. I ran for class president in 5th grade. And my only platform was, you know how we have bacon cheeseburgers on Friday? Bacon
every day.
Cheeseburgers every day. I won in a landslide.
Yeah.
You
didn't promise, or you didn't come through on it either.
No, I didn't come through at all. I went to the principal and he was like, this is just like to talk to me about the school. Like, it's not, this isn't real.
There's no real change that you're going to be able to affect it.
And it was at that moment that the curtain was dropped from politics for Steve. Yeah. What? You mean none of this is real? It's all made up?
Oh, jeez. I do. I guess actually I do have a bike story I'll share. This is one of my, so when I was a kid, so I was 2 and my brother was 4, my older brother. And he's riding his bike around the backyard and he stops over like a hole in the ground and the training wheels sort of get stuck and he's just spinning. So I toddle over to help him and I tripped and fell and my arm got wrapped up in the wheel and I lost a bit of thumb in a bike accident. So that was a 2-year-old injury on a bike. Somehow kept with it after that, but I think my mom was pretty scarred after that one.
Wow.
So yeah.
Is that your writing hand?
Yeah, it is.
Right-handed?
Yeah. But I mean, I've had it since I was 2, so like I've just sort of gotten used to it.
Yeah.
It is.
Did you tell your mom you're okay when you're done? I'm okay, Mom.
Just covered in blood, yeah. Shockingly, not a hit with the ladies, but yeah. So the biking injury started young. But
really? I mean, this is
pretty self-contained, yeah.
This is like a Cinderella story for you. I mean,
oh yeah.
You said the comb over in high school, the half a thumb. He overcame his setbacks, people. You can do it too.
You can
like Tony Robbins.
You can be a middling A rider, just if you get up at 4 every day and sit in your basement forever.
Hey, it could be worse, Steve. I know a guy who lost a thumb and they took his big toe and put it on there. So he's got a toe thumb.
Yeah, I dodge that. It's just enough. It's just the tip, just to see how it feels.
Yeah. I mean, that's a reasonable amount to really ask for,
It's a good place to start, and then you see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
That is how you raise it in conversation.
That's how you coax it in, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Just a trial.
I guess it answers the age-old question, right? If it falls off, it does not grow back.
No. Oh, no.
He's not a gecko. I mean, we've had some dabbling in DNA, I guess.
That would be,
This isn't Jurassic Park, man. When
don't life finds a way, but not engineering. We'll cover genetic engineering ruining the world next week.
Oh, I can't imagine your take on that is optimistic.
What, you're not pleased with corn? You don't like corn on your table?
Talk to me about it.
I'm gonna go full shoulders on this one. You know, like corn, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Monsanto. God.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. All of my malfeasance goes to financial engineering, which is much less interesting than either robotic or genetic engineering. So, we too can ruin the world. Trust me. Yeah.
Yeah. We know that already, though.
Yeah. We've had a couple good hits the last couple of years. Coming in hot.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, man.
I think it's probably about that time where we bid adieu to our favored guest, Steve. I said favored, not favorite. Sorry.
I heard favorite.
It's all in what you hear.
Yeah.
It's your own your perceived truth is what matters. So till next time, it is your reality. Steve, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, man,
hey, thanks so much. I appreciate you having me as your favorite birthday guest. Favorites and birthday. I'm going to hear.
Hey,
today is it's going
to be 7 years before there's another birthday guest.
Yeah.
Because since today is my actual birthday, it's going to be 7 years, right?
Yeah.
If this is still going, we'll have you back on.
I can't wait.
I'll be 45.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe face tattoos at that point. Who knows? We'll see. If things go my way. Assuming that the machines haven't taken over, we'll all be in cages. We'll still do the podcast, though.
We'll be on to God of War 68 by that point.
I am here for it. Here for it. I'm going to go play that game in like 12 hours. So, anyway.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for being on, buddy.
Thanks, Steve.
Everybody, we'll see you next week.